I'm going to share my screen just to show you our Canvas page. And how many of you have already looked through Canvas for what we have?
I did.
Awesome. This Zoom idea is the one that we'll use for everything. So when I have sessions, which will be rare, they'll be here, but also my office time, which is Mondays and Thursdays at 1 to 3, those will also be on this Zoom ID. So just one ID, you can get through all of your stats one stuff. As you go through this, you'll notice that sometimes I say statistics 300 because I imported the material and I didn't catch some of the changes that I needed to make. So if you see stat 300, it's just from another college, but the material is the same. So you can just swap that out for stats 1, and I'll edit those in time. But they shouldn't appear after this first week. Just to preface anything, that we want to operate this semester collaboratively and responsibly to our communities. So we do that in a behavior setting that is one of practicing good etiquette, of being respectful, and not hiding behind our avatars and our online presence to be a bully in any way. So any feedback or discussions that you are participating in where you're being collaborative, I ask that you do so in a non-discriminatory way, a non-harassing way, a friendly way, and a complimentary way. We are here to build each other up and to lift each other up rather than to tear each other down. That would be I think my only kind of thing that I would say would be grounds for dismissal from the course. And I just want to get that out there because in an online environment, you may think that you're not traceable in terms of your participation and in terms of the comments that you make, since it's not face-to-face. And I just want to say right now, we respect all religions, we respect all races, all colors, all gender identities, all sexual orientations, all ages, and we can go on with that list. We appreciate and honor all of the diverse and unique things that make us the people that we are. So going through this, I wanted to take you through how the course works. And so this is built on a Canvas platform. There are no materials that are required. Sometimes you'll have to go to a YouTube video or access a video, but everything should be contained here. We will have some software for week number 2 that you'll start to use. So you will use the software, but otherwise everything is contained in this Canvas site, Canvas course. And always you can start at the home page. This will be updated once a week for every unit. Every week is a single unit in Canvas. And so here at the home page, you'll see some basic information, contact, there's some links for some various things, some individual Canvas training. And then at the bottom it says start the course, and that's going to take you to the beginning of unit number 1. And the goal of unit number 1 is to be collaborative, so to meet all of your fellow students and to meet me. It's to get oriented into the course, so to become more proficient in terms of Canvas. And we learn a little bit of statistics and overview this week, but really you want to get into a habit and a schedule this first week of doing the homework, honoring the deadlines for your assignments, and asking questions when you have them. So just getting into the online structure. Your homeworks are due 3 days each week, and you can do all the homework in 1 day, or you can do it those 3 days. You want to start to set up a schedule that works in terms of time management, balancing all the things that go on in your life. The homeworks are going to be due, or the assignments are going to be due on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, you're going to have a discussion that's due. Sometimes on Wednesdays, you'll have a survey and or a quiz as well. The quizzes will all be multiple choice. They'll be in Canvas. They'll all be open notes, so there's no proctoring or anything that's required. You'll have to respond to your fellow classmates by Fridays. So your Friday would be to respond in the discussion to your classmates. And you may have quizzes available or quizzes also on Fridays. And then finally, you're going to have a final project each week. And so on Sunday night, by Sunday night at midnight, you'll post your final project for the week. The first week, again, just getting used to that whole structure, and not a lot of statistical content, but there is a general overview of statistics. How to navigate through the course is once you get from the home button through that start, the course, it's going to take you to a series of pages that you'll read through, and then when you're done, you'll click next at the bottom. And you'll continue through that, and each time you read and absorb the material, you'll click next. There's going to be information that's going to be useful to you and some that you can skip. If you're proficient in Canvas, for example, you can skip the Getting Started with Canvas tutorials. But if you find that you could use a little refresher or that you've never had any Canvas experience, then this would be good to go through, especially since a lot of schools are still going to be online in the fall and maybe even in the spring. So getting used to and proficient at Canvas is important. As you go through the pages, once in a while, you're going to be given an assignment or a task. And so this one is actually 2 tasks that are embedded. One is a survey, and that survey is within this page. You're going to see this a little bit differently, but you will go through this Google Forms survey, and that will automatically be sent to me in a database. Now, to get the report, the 20 points for this, there'll also be a quiz, one single question that you'll submit, and that will auto grade into the Canvas grades. So as you go through this first assignment that's due by Wednesday, tomorrow night, make sure you do both the survey and submit, but then also there's a quiz that's also there. Just keep an eye out for that. It's a single question quiz. It's really 100% you'll get on it. It's just an opportunity to self-grade or auto-grade this survey participation. As you continue to click through, you'll find more information, and eventually there'll be more assignments and discussions. Another way to get at this information, like say you don't want to go through all of it at once, but you want to remember where you left off, is when you click on modules on the right side, or left side rather, you will see Unit 1 and all of its wholesomeness all there. And it will tell you what you've viewed or gone through already, so you can pick up where you left off as you go through this. You'll also see assignments and quizzes. They have different kind of icons. The syllabus quiz, or the quizzes in general, have this kind of airplane little icon. And discussions have like a talking icon. So those are things that you'll do. And then assignments have a little page with a little pencil next to it. So those are going to be your actual tasks. And they'll have dates on them. So the icebreaker discussion is due by the 17th. The syllabus is due on the 17th. The wiki page, this is a excuse me, this is a task as well, is the 17th. So there'll be dates if there's something that's due next to the item. So the surveys, the onboarding survey is one of your first tasks as you go through. And then the icebreaker discussion, building community, is the next task. So you could click on it and go right to it. And here you'll be able to read through what you need to do and what's expected in the responses. And then you can post. And already we have students who have posted this. They embedded their images. Everything looks great. And there's some responses already for this. So this is already moving forward. Have any of you already done this? Okay.
No, I have not. I just added a few hours ago.
Me neither.
Okay, cool. So as you go through this, if you have more questions, since this is due tomorrow night, then you just send me an email, or I'll show you another avenue where you can get your questions answered. Now, how would you post to this is at the bottom of the discussion is you're going to click reply. And then you'll type your information in. Part of this assignment is that you're going to embed an image. That could be a photo of you, it could be a photo of a pet, it could be, you know, just a photo that you've taken. And in order to do that, instead of attaching the file, we're going to embed it. Embed it means that it's part of the page. And you can embed it by clicking on the embed image icon. And once you click on that, you click on the middle tab, which is the Canvas tab. And then you would go to Course Files or My Files. Course Files puts it into the files that are associated with this stats course. And then My Files will put it into all of your Canvas pages. Not into your pages, but accessible for all of your Canvas courses. Up to you which one you use. From here, if you click Upload File, you can point to a directory where the images are contained. And you can pick an image that you like, open, and then you'll describe it in the alt text, ALT text field in a way that somebody who is blind or has visual differences from us would still be able to experience the image without having seen it. So this is a fractal image. These should be less than 2 sentences. These are what a screen reader would read to somebody who doesn't have the ability to see the same way that we do. So fractal image, and then you would click update, and it will embed the image into the page. You can click on it and resize it, and there you go. You've embedded an image into the page. Okay. So if you have any issues with that particular one with the discussion and embedding images or any of that part of it, then please just let me know, or reach out to fellow students. And you reach out to fellow students in what's called the discussion Q&A forum, and that's found by several links that you'll find as you go through these first few pages, but you'll find it also just by clicking on discussions, and it's the student Q&A lounge. And here you'll post a question, you'll get points for posting questions here, and you will get points for answering questions of your peers, your fellow students. So if I had a question, how do I embed an image? For the first discussion, I could post, and then somebody who wants to respond, if you wanted to respond to that given the information I just gave you, you'll get points. So I'm going to leave this here in case you wanted to use this as a jumping off point to use this discussion Q&A lounge. Going back to our course, to the modules now, the Q&A lounge will always be there for the semester, and sometimes I'll replace it if it's gotten too long with a new one, but it will always be an availability for you to gain points. What I wanted to go through a couple more things, a wiki page and an e-portfolio and math equations. So those 3 remaining things. I'm going to first go to the wiki page. And a wiki page is a page that you can edit along with other people. So it's a Canvas page that you can edit. give you ability to edit it. And how you do that is you already have access to edit this page. You would just click edit when you get to this page, and down below you're going to follow the prompt to add your information. And all I ask you to do here is just to get used to a wiki page by adding in your name and your birthplace. And if you wanted to put in more information, great. If not, that's okay. So a wiki page, this is going to be something that you want to get proficient at, or at least know how to do to edit a page, because sometimes you're going to have group work that you'll be using this wiki page to work on simultaneously. Kind of like Google Forms or Google Docs or Google Sheets. So you can work on it collaboratively with groups. Okay. While I'm here, this is, in Canvas, they use what's called a rich text editor. And Canvas is what's called a learning management system that exists throughout California. The state of California decided to adopt Canvas as their system. So all throughout California, you will see Canvas as the system. In other states, you might see something different, but they're very similar. Canvas has what's called a rich text editor. That's the default editor, and it's very much like a Word or Google Sheets. It has icons on top for bolding, for color, for justification, for lists, superscripts, subscripts, and then for inserting things. Some things are a little bit different here. We can insert media, public collections, and then there are some links for some other things as well. There's media that you can add. You can even record media. And you can change font sizes, and then you can check accessibility of a page over here. And that checks that the page is accessible, meaning that somebody who has differences in their abilities can still access and benefit from the information. They don't have to be able the same way you are in terms of mobility, in terms of vision, in terms of hearing. So it's important that you try to make all of the content that you develop accessible. You don't know what the other students in class have in terms of their differences, in terms of their differences. So we always want to have an eye on making things accessible for all students. Underneath the rich Canvas editor, for those of you who know HTML or want to know some HTML, and HTML is what's used in websites, is you can click on the HTML editor, and this is what HTML code looks like. And it's not pretty at first, but you can get used to this pretty quickly and do a couple small chunks of your HTML path. And I can introduce you to that in pieces over the next few weeks. Just another thing you can add to a list of your accomplishments and your learnings through this course is to develop some tools that will benefit you in the job market once you graduate. And HTML is something definitely that would help. Once you've finished editing, you just say done, or save rather, and it will save your changes. So that's a wiki page. Next thing I wanted to show you was math equations and ePortfolios at the same time. At the end of every week, you're going to have to do an ePortfolio. It's basically a summary of the project that you've worked on over the week. And your ePortfolio, your end of the week submission for this coming Sunday, is here. So you're going to have 7 things that you're going to put into your ePortfolio: accessibility, bio, an image. You're going to add in a sense of your accumulated knowledge. What did you learn during the week? So either statistically or about other people or about yourself. You'll add something in on ethics, and you'll make a pledge. Well, how are you going to show up in this class for this semester? Not just so that you can get a good grade, but how are you going to show up for the others in the class, for the teacher, for yourself? So these are kind of the prompts that will allow you to form your ePortfolio page. And once you form your ePortfolio page, it's complete academic freedom to make it you, to be an expression or an extension of you. How you get to the ePortfolio page is you click on the account button that's next to your picture, if you have an image there, or your avatar. And once you click on that, you have a few options. We're going to go to ePortfolios in just a moment, but you might first look at notifications. Notifications are what you get notified about if it changes for a course. So here you can see there's an X, there's a check mark. You can change notifications. If I have an announcement, for example, right now I have a check mark next to that, which means every time there's an announcement, I get an email that says there's an announcement. So I know to go to Canvas and check it. If you don't want that, then you'd put an X there. So I encourage you to go through the notification preferences if you're getting a lot of emails that you don't want, or if you're needing an email be sent to you when something changes so that it can remind you to go online and do some work. Your profile is also there underneath notifications. And your profile is a great way for you to add like an avatar picture of yourself. You can use your Bitmoji, you can use a picture, just an image that you've taken of an animal. You can use an image of yourself. And then some biographical information, just other people can look at it and say, oh, cool. So you can put biographical information in here if you'd like. Files, if you know you want to upload a lot of files so that you can use them commonly, you can upload them in here. Whenever you upload a file, it's going to place them into this folder so you can access them. There's more things under settings, and I don't know what QR for mobile login is, some sort of QR code, I suppose. But under ePortfolios is where I want to go next. When I click on my ePortfolio, what I have so far formed are two portfolios. One is called My Portfolio. It has 2 pages. And I have Statistics 1, which has 2 pages. You may have nothing there. And so what you would do is you would click plus create an ePortfolio. And then you would name it. Once you click on it, it gives you the prompt to name it. So you can name it something that you like. Again, complete BU here. You're not going to get points for all having the same thing. You can certainly explore and put whatever is most like you here. Then you click make it public so I can see it when you post something, and then make your ePortfolio. Now we have a window, and what you do is either go through the Getting Started wizard or go to the actual ePortfolio. And right now you can see the pages on the right side. There's only a welcome page. That's a default welcome page. And so you can edit that page. Or you can add a page. But let's go into editing a page. We're going to edit the page. I'm going to put an exclamation point at the end of welcome to be a little bit different, and then I'm going to put in a bunch of stuff here. You might put section 1, which might be your bio. So bio would be a section, and you'd put a header to it. So a header format. Oops. We had ethics, right? That was another thing that was part of that. Oh. Ethics, also a header. Oops. So you can create sections here and headers. And then in between those, you would type in information for each one. To do an equation, so you're going to put an equation somewhere inside of here. an equation, you would go to insert math equation. And then any equation would be fine for this part of the task for your first ePortfolio. You can find one from any course you've taken. You can find one from the internet. You can find one from any stats source as well. We don't have a lot in our first module or first unit, but you can just do something like 2x plus 1 equal to 10, like a linear equation, if you were familiar with linear equations, and then insert the equation into the field. That's how you would insert an equation. You can add media to this. I encourage you to add media. I would almost say that it's a useful thing to do because you will, by the end of the semester, post a video. So you could try it this first time. And I'll be glad to take you through how to create a video and how to caption a video if you'd like to do that. Captioning just so that it has words when you speak. Once you're finished editing, you can save the page. You can preview it as well, but you can save the page, and then you can go back and edit it at any time. Within this portfolio, this is Halsey Stats Journey. You can organize and manage pages, and you can add as many pages as you want. So you might add another page, which was a case study that you're going to be doing. And then maybe another one, maybe you add in something fun. And so now these are all pages that appear on the right side as pages, and you can go into any one of them and edit it. Oops, I didn't go to the right one. Okay. Again, account, ePortfolios, you'll see your ePortfolio. So I created 3 pages. A lot of them don't have anything in them, but if I wanted to go back to my stats journey, I click on it, and then I can go into any of the individual pages, edit the page, and I can add content. So this is a little bit separate from Canvas, so you'll have to click on your profile and then go back to the page. And you can go back and forth between them, and how you do that is you would keep your ePortfolio open. And then if you go to your dashboard and you right-click with your mouse, you can open that in a new tab, and you can click on the stats class, and then both of those things could be open at once, and you can go back and forth between them with a click of a mouse. You can even tile them together on your window so that one's on one half of your window and the other's on the other half. Okay. I think that's about it in terms of just a navigation or orientation into the course. You can always, each week I'm going to have a new kind of introduction to the week. Next week we're going to start getting used to software. I did post something about a software called RK Ward, and I just want you to ignore that. It turns out that that is not useful for some people. They couldn't download it, so I'm now trying to pivot quickly to find a new software to use. If you have lots of time on your hand and you want to investigate software, statistics software that's free and easy to use, and certainly I'll give you points, and you can post that into the discussion Q&A forum, or just send me an email about it and I'll reward you for your efforts. Right now we don't have a software identified for next week, but we will by next week. So again, this week, orientation is really getting into and establishing a schedule for yourself, learning a little bit of an overview of statistics, and really concentrating on meeting each other. You're you are the best help mechanisms for each other through the collaborative learning, through the Q&A forum, just by getting to know each other through our online journey. I'm accessible by email. I'm accessible through the Canvas email or just by emailing Boyd H or hboyd@ycct.edu. You can come to my virtual office space, again, Mondays and Thursdays from 1 to 3 p.m., just clicking on this link at the front page. This page will change next Monday morning. The next unit will open up, and it will change a little bit in terms of have a new start button and a new focus for the week. Anytime I have any session, I'll put it in here as well. So maybe I'll have like an evening session next week that's optional. All sessions that are optional, there's no requirement to ever be in a Zoom session, but sometimes it's always good to just get to see me or see each other. So I encourage you, when you can make a Zoom session that's posted, then please do. Part of your onboarding survey is to kind of say, when are you generally free? So I can also apply different times for the sessions. Next week, maybe I'll do 7 p.m. The week after, I might do a 9 p.m. session. One week, I might do a 5 a.m. session. So that onboarding survey will be useful information to me to set those times. I assume you all would do a 5 a.m. session, right? Yasmin, you do 5 a.m. I'll see you 5 a.m. next, say, Tuesday morning.
5 a.m.
Yeah, is that a good time for you?
How about 3 a.m.?
Good, because it's not a good time for me either. Have your schedules changed? Like, are you like still on somewhat of a lockdown, or are you kind of back to things as sort of usual?
Yeah.
Back to normal, sort of?
Yeah, sort of.
I feel like things are still kind of locked down.
Yeah.
And
still,
you know, the numbers of the people who are, you know, getting affected due to the COVID is just kind of like everything's getting serious again. Things did get better before, but now it's getting bad again, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some upswings.
Yeah.
I'm working at home until December because we'll be online through the fall semester. I think Yuba College is somewhat online and then somewhat face-to-face so far. But my fall stats classes are both online.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want more clarification on as that I went through in the orientation?
I'm just a little confused about the software that we're gonna use. Like, do we have to buy it, or where
No.
we can buy it, or what is it? Just
I'm gonna stop the recording and then I'll answer the question. Is that cool, Yasmin?
sure.